Hey everyone, Jeanette here. This is going to be a mixture of female to male pregnancies. I think I said that right. If I don't say something right, please forgive me. Sometimes things get all crazy here. I had this thing started, forgot to turn the camera on, and so I had to set up everything, make sure you can see everything. Anyway, let's get on with this. Leonardo DiCaprio is one that is a female, and I believe that he is carrying his own child in these pictures. These I got from Tricks of the Trade, or this one I did, this one picture here. But you can see his nice female curve in the back, and this is what a female curve in the back looks like, people. And here it looks like he's just a little bit pregnant. A lot of people say, yeah, he could be a fat male too, but you'll see what I mean with the other pictures. This is, oh, he looks like he's about 4 or 5 months there. 5 months, yeah. Okay. And here he is where he is full term, I think. Can I raise that up just a little bit so you can make sure that you see the bottom? See the bottom there? Nice and round. That's nice and firm. It's too firm to not be pregnant. He's definitely pregnant here. He looks like he's about 7-8 months, something like that. Any bigger than that, he probably doesn't come out in public. But the t-shirt covers it up really, really well, and keeps him from getting sunburnt really badly also. And he's got somebody with him to, if somebody recognized him or whatever, it's like he's got this guy to protect him. So I think that's why this guy's real close to him. But you see here, you can see the beautiful curve in his back again. Beautiful female curve all the way down. And I got over here. This does not look just like fat to me. It looks like a female pregnant belly because it is really nice and tight there. It just really does. Okay, I believe the FTMs, the female to males like Leo, can carry their own babies. They can go on vacation 4 to 5 months when they start showing. Note the female curve in the back, of course. The men have straight backs. He looks to be 6 months pregnant here. He is a female, and women do not carry fat around the midsection like that. No, because he looks nice and slim, and then got that, yeah. Looks like pretty firm to me as well. This looks like it might be actually a male child, as it is fairly low that he's carrying it, actually. I carry 2 males, and that's why I know. I'll pull this way over here. Make sure it's in this, yeah. Okay, this looks like it's pretty much in there. Sorry that it's crooked. I try to get this camera straight, and I can't get anything straight. I mean, the computer is straight, but for some reason, I try with this stupid pod that this camera's on, and it's just not working right. So I'm sorry if everything is crooked. That's the best that I can do at this time. Okay, he's not wearing a t-shirt at this time. Yeah. Well, here his stomach is a little bit more. I think that he's pregnant here, but he's not as far as the other one. These pictures were small when I loaded them, so I can't get them in order a lot of times. This one, he is, oh gosh, he looks about 5 or 6 months here in this one. He's a little bit more than what the first one was. And here it looks like he's had the child. Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically what they do. And he's got the real short Tyrannosaurus arm here also. Little round face. No throat action going on here. Yeah, nice slim, soft arms. Yeah. And here we have Haley Joel Osment. Little guy that was on Sixth Sense, very likable person. I think that he is. Strange looking partner that he's got, but what can I say? This one is probably an MTF, excuse me, see, male to female. This is a male to female because of the long spider monkey arms that are way past where the crotch is, about right here on this one. I'll make sure that I got this right. Yeah. Okay. And the hands are way below the crotch. And here, he might be pregnant here. Hard to say if he really is, but he can carry a child real easy, especially when they're a little chubby. Little tiny female mouth I noticed on this, and this is real smooth again. Shoulders, pretty good sloping shoulders there. This one's got they may not be real wide, but they are pretty level, which shows a trans. I could cut this up actually, people, and this would be a lot longer than what, this upper torso is a lot longer than this is down here. Yeah. But so I'm not going to do that actually. And here he is here where you can see there's no male brow ridge on him. Okay. And little tiny mouth, little sloping shoulders. All points to a female round face. He even looks female to me. And the hair is pretty fine. And here he's playing golf, getting a little exercise in. Yeah. And here, maybe that could be fat, maybe not. They do carry babies very easily, these do. He's got a nice big female tushy here too, and here's a nice female curve in his back. Yeah. I think the way that this is and stuff, yeah, this seems like it kind of almost drops off right here, so this looks like that he's actually pregnant here. I would not be a bit surprised because he's not really heavy set, but it's right in here. Yeah. Okay, now I believe that there was now there's another one that's in here, but we're going to go. I threw a bunch in here, and about Dolly Parton. These people that I'm going to bring up here, they look like other people. It has to do like with the batches of eggs. So the pregnancy thing kind of, it all goes together. We're talking about the batches of eggs where people look alike. And so we'll find some in here. Now this fake Dolly here, I don't know if that's really Dolly Parton or if that is a female impersonator or a guy impersonator, because we know Dolly is a guy. It looks almost like an impersonator to me. This also, what was that one movie? Something of My Heart. I can't remember the woman that played in that, who happens to be a guy. Looks like Dolly right here, actually. So I can't think of that woman's name, but it was Something of My Heart. It was about music. Yeah. Grace of My Heart, I think is what it was. And the woman, the main character in there, this kind of reminds me of that person who I really do believe is a male. And here's another one of the male, masculine Dolly at 80 years of age, is it? Yeah. Keeps getting it, needs to retire. But so many people love this person because it's got a sweet personality. Why not love this person that's got a sweet personality and stuff? They don't realize to get there, you have to sacrifice somebody that you love, and you have to worship the one that gets you there, who happens to be Enlil the Satan. Enlil is a Sumerian name, and that's what I use. They all do, but they're not going to tell you that. And here he is again, and you can see really the masculine in this. Looks almost dead here. It's like it puts on a fake smile, and it's just really, it's just there, and that's it. There's nothing else. Physically, it is just planted, and there's nothing else there. And this Dolly reminded me of Bob Dylan, a young Bob Dylan. Yeah, probably the same batch of eggs that female Bobby came from. Here's another one here, Jack Black. I just gotta see here. I'm gonna have to raise this up some, make sure that this is in the camera eye so you can see it. Well, I'll raise it as I go. Jack Black, I believe, is pregnant here, and he is basically showing it off. It's coming way out here. It's really sloped out here. I believe he's pregnant here, FTM. has the same reproductive system that all females do and produce eggs themselves. They are allowed to have their own children if they want to. But these eggs will be harvested out of them. They will be fertilized, I believe, by the Rothschilds or some other elite, all in the same family. They keep it, the bloodline, all together that way. And then they are implanted back into, his would be implanted back into him. That's why sometimes they have twins and stuff, because sometimes they'll implant a couple of them to make sure they take. And yeah, so yeah, and the ones they have some that are fertilized and they're frozen. I can't even speak. They're frozen using the sperm, and I put of Enlil the Satan. I don't think they're just Enlils. I think the Rothschilds, actually, I believe the Rothschilds and the other 11 high elite. And here's the thing, if his dad is a Rothschild, they will probably use maybe a Rockefeller or somebody that's a little different to make sure the children aren't inbred. They will have to keep a track of that also, of the father would have to be different, you know. Yeah, they would have to do that to make sure the children aren't retarded and stuff. Yeah, they have to do that too. Right. Yeah, well, the males are castrated, so they're not allowed to breed at all. So they have to use the sperm of the people that are famous. Right, that. And basically, they're all related. I think the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and all of them are probably all related. If not, well, distant cousins. Yeah. But, yeah, they all keep it up there. All kept up there. Okay, and here he is again showing, or she is again showing her nice pregnant belly off right here. Yep. His partner ain't too bad looking, actually. No. He's happy. And now we go on to Bette Midler, and their reasons, like I said, that we'll find that people look like others or what. I just threw them all together in here. This here is not a female curve. This looks like, this is a humpback, and this is Bette Midler, and this, it looks like to me that it's a deformity that he has. He shared an apartment with Barry Manilow. They were an item, I imagine, because Barry Manilow is a female. Yeah, in the early days they did. That's what she said, and yeah. Probably was he. And this is as Bette has gotten older, and you can see how I cut up the body like I usually do at the waist, at the crotch line. I might have it a little bit off or what. I don't know. It's weird. I think the crotch is right here. This looks smaller than this, so it looks like it's a male body. Here you can tell it really is a male body. The hand's a bit lower than what the crotch is, which is a male thing. This down here is shorter, and this up here is longer. From the collarbone to the waist, and the waist is always underneath the elbow, and from the waist to the top of the crotch, not underneath it, but the top of it. And the up here, even though the shoulders aren't real wide, they are a little bit wider than what the rump is. And of course, she's got the tranny pose going on there. Make it look like it's more curvy than what it is. Bette does have a straight back, but doggone if it isn't, it has a hump in its back. Yeah, it is a hump. What I was going to say with that hump, and I forgot to, that hump is down here, and on us females, it's right where the shoulder blades are. The round part would be right on the shoulder blade. Yeah, so it would come up like up here and down in here into a curve. And this is a waist. This is not a curve here. This is where your waist bends in. And here, this looks like Meryl Streep. And it's like, yep, they're brothers, you would say. Brothers in arms, yeah. Came from the same batch of eggs. And Meryl Streep and Glenn Close look alike too. I used to get them two mixed up. Oh, I was going to say here, I said the hair looks pretty coarse actually, even though it's not real thick, but it looks really coarse, which is male hair. Looks like male hair. And here you can see again that the body is longer than the bottom part of this. It looks to me like she's wearing an undergarment here that pulls this in to make it look like she's got more of a waist. And this, her partner, not bad looking. She's got her a good looking one. His neck is pretty smooth, but he's got a bit of a trachea thing going on there. But his body here looks like it's a female. Both of these are the same size, this and this. And here, because they were together, Sally Field and Danny DeVito, I thought I would just do them all. This Bette Midler again. Sally Field we know is a male. Somebody did an excellent job on that one, and you'll just have to look it up, people. But you could see here Sally Field, the upper part of Sally is longer than the bottom, showing that this is a male torso. And little Danny DeVito's a female. Not because he's short, but because he's a female. The top is always shorter than what a male's is. So, and the bottom is the same. It's like two squares basically. And his hips come way out here. So his shoulder would be lined up actually with this, and it's sloping. And I always thought he had a pretty little face. I always did. A lot of people say, oh, he's funny looking, Danny DeVito, but no, I always thought he had a pretty little face, nice dark eyes, and this head here is a woman's round head. Yeah, little Italian female. Bette Midler with the daughter and two brothers. I got that. Can you see that? Maybe you cannot see that. No, I'm going to pull this up. I've got two brothers written down there. You still can't see it. I'm going to have to make these just shorter, I guess. It doesn't matter. I just got two brothers written here. But yeah, they come out of the same batch of eggs. That's how they get them where they look like them. She looked just exactly like Bette when she was a kid. And one thing Bette never did was let the daughter watch television. I remember Madonna either. Never let their kids watch television. Now we're going to John and Kate plus 8. And if you look at these kids, they were all supposed to be carried by this thing, which this thing with the Adam's apple has no uterus either. Okay. And if you just look at the children, none of them look alike. They're all, 8 of these are from 8 different parents. And of course, they use an Asian parent and them, to fit the bill. And some of these children look older than the others. Okay, some of them look like they're older, and some look really young. If you look at these kids too, it's hard to tell from this angle and stuff that they're going to be just the opposite, but they're always usually trans. And here she is. Yeah, you can see it really good how this is longer than this bottom half, and the hand's longer than the crotch. This is right where the crotch is, the top of the crotch. It's never underneath it. It's right where the hip comes out, or the thigh comes out, excuse me. The thigh comes out. But you can see that this is a male here. And here's all the dear little kitties, and I'm going to have to bring these dear little kitties over here so you can see them. All right. Now, these little kitties here, this one here is going to be a male because the hand, or is a male because the hand is way, way lower than the crotch is. I can tell that one. This one sort of is too. This one hard to tell because the arm's bent in, but that's all I can tell from these at that. But even at a young age, the proportion is there. And here he is with his lovely curve in the back right here. I've got to keep looking to make sure I'm inside this camera so you can see it. And he's able to carry a child too. Actually, he looks like right here, it looks like that he is carrying a child right here. I don't believe they're fat male bellies. No, the arms or the shoulders here, up here, the shoulders are slanting terribly like a female's. And like I said, over here, he's got that curve in it, female curve, right? And here is just a soft female body, and again, the sloping shoulders, little tiny face or head, little tiny head. So when I saw this, I'm glad that you can kind of see that, because this, if I move this over, something's going to mess this up. I saw this picture here, and to me, this looked like Michael Jackson. When I first seen it, I said, that looks like Michael, and it would have made a very nice Michael if Michael hadn't have had all that surgery. Well, this isn't. This is, well, if you're reading it, I didn't cover that up there, but this is Sandra Bullock. Guys are from the same batch of eggs. And they're from the same batch of eggs. But when I seen it like this, I said, my goodness, that looks like Michael Jackson. Yeah. The donors are the Rothschilds, sperm donors. Joe was the handler to Michael and Janet and LaToya. They're all the opposite sex of what that they profess to be. Michael is a female. He's got the female curve in his back, for one thing. I got pictures somewhere in here of that. But yeah, Joe is not those three's daddy. He may be to the others, I don't know. To the other brothers, I'm not sure. But to this, yeah, I still don't have this in the doggone thing. Now you can read what I've got there. All right. Yeah. So the Rothschilds is the daddy. They would take the eggs, fertilize them, put them in whatever mother. They kind of do look like Catherine. Catherine's probably the one that carried Michael and Janet and LaToya. The brothers, I have no idea. The others. Yeah. Okay, well, that's basically about it. And you can just see it. It's just as plain as the nose on your face that looks like Michael. Okay, this Marie Osmond here looks like Janice Dickinson, if anybody knows that model. Yeah. Looking more like a man as time goes on. Needs to retire. The brothers are retired, and he needs to retire too. Now, here's Meryl Streep. Somebody asked me, how does Meryl Streep's daughters look like Meryl Streep? And Meryl Streep being a guy. They are all brothers. These are not mother and daughters. These are all brothers, all from the same batch of eggs. And this right here. Breaking up the bodies here, these are male bodies. They're long up here and short down here. Now, I got them all in there. You can't see this one. I have to pull her over. Or him over. These are all guys. Yeah, I can't push it up any further, but that's what we got. I always thought that Meryl Streep looked like Glenn Close, actually. I'm sure that they're from the same batch of eggs, too. Now who we got here? Anthony Kiedis. When I cut him up like this, whoops, he looks like a female body. I thought that he was a gay man. He may be a female. It's possible. I got pictures. You know, they did the cocks and socks thing, but that could have all been fake just to make you think that all the tattoos on the body make you think, oh, he's more masculine because he's got all these tattoos. You know, Anthony Kiedis might actually be a female. He has a pretty face. He looked like Britney Spears one time, but Britney Spears was a guy. So, yeah, they're all from the same batch of eggs. But Anthony looks a lot like his dad, Blackie Dammit. He looked a lot like Blackie. I thought Anthony was just a gay man, but given this right here, his body looks like a female's, and his hand is equal to his crotch. Okay, and this thing was supposed to give birth to a kid that they had, but no, I don't think so. I do not think at all, and this is, don't think so at all. The body's long, and the bottom is short. That's where the crotch is, right there. This is a male's body. And this, the shoulders. This trapeze muscle here is a triangular muscle, and sometimes it'll look like that they got more of a slope. You see, when, yeah, sometimes if they don't have that, if they don't have the trapeze muscle or it sticks up at all, then they'll have the straight across of the male. And that's what a lot of the models do. Most of these are models anyway, that he always dated, these models. People say he loves his trannies. Well, what if he is a female? Okay. I got some pictures of him, but when they take testosterone with the shirt off, and once they take testosterone, they can grow, you know, pecs and stuff. His feet look really small here. He's not a big guy, but his father said he was 5'10". I'm not sure about that. Okay, now here he is with this one here. I don't know if this is his son as he's gotten older, or this is an old picture of him with James, because he has a brother named James that's younger than he is. Okay, now if this is a little girl though, and how this is a little girl is, the neck's real smooth. There's no Adam's apples, anything going on here. Round face and the chin. Little tiny mouth, this is a female. Whoever it is, it's a female. And this is supposed to be his son, Everly Bear, Everly Bear. Everly, like in the Everly Brothers, Bear, I think is because of Native American, whatever. But if you look at this little face here, this is a little female. No doubt about it, female. And does it look like Anthony? No. Does it look like that thing that was supposed to give him birth? No. Heather, no. Now we're jumping to, this is the Rothschild's family, and this is a guy. This is a dude. I got this from somebody too, and I didn't write it down where I got it from. But what I wanted to show people was on this. You might not be able to see this down here, where it says right here on February the 23rd. Yeah, you can see this. February 23rd, 1744, the house of Rothschild was founded. So it was way before television came out and stuff, but these guys started that banking crap and stuff way, way, way before that, and taking over everything a long time ago. And here he is, and he looks like a female to me. Probably is. I don't know who started this crap in the first place of doing this, but the transgender stuff tells people, it tells them from us. It tells them from us. Now, this is a guy, an actor, and I don't know who he is. I was watching a movie. But this guy, his teeth and mouth here look like Steve Buscemi. His mouth and his teeth do. And Patricia Arquette also. But overall face here looks like Brendan Fraser. And sorry about that. I'm moving stuff around. And here's another picture of him right here. You see him really good? Yeah. And I don't know how much you can really see of his face because it's kind of tiny, but here he looks like Brendan Fraser, really, really good when he was young. Same batch of eggs. And we're going to jump here to Will Smith's son. And this is Willow. This pic comes from a video that Mag Ugly Truth did about Willow Smith, Will Smith's daughter. Okay, this person is a boy, not a girl. And I had to take this to say how much this boy looks like Will. It's not a clone like some people think. When a female like Will Smith was born, his eggs were harvested, or it could have been harvested at any time. When he decides that he wants to have a child, then they'll do it. And they will fertilize them on the outside. They'll freeze some of the embryos to use at another date. Yeah, a lot of the female celebrities have done this. When they want children as adults, they'll go through the process of having the eggs used. They have the same genetics as Will, so the kid will favor him because Will is actually the mother of this child. Yeah, but the father is either, I got in Lil the Satan, more than likely it's probably a Rothschild. Rothschild that gives them all the money, or one of the top 11 elite. They keep it all in that group. Okay. So Will Smith is actually the mother to Willow, and Jada Pinkett Smith is not related at all. Unless that she's a brother in some way, or a cousin, probably. Something like that. But you can see the resemblance. It looks just like Will. Yeah. And here we got Diana, and I'm going to have to pull her over. This is a Rothschild right here, and Diana here. President Ronald Reagan is videotaped calling her Princess David. People are saying that she is now living with, she didn't die in that car accident, she is living with Elton John, who is a female. He's not a gay man, he's a female. A lot of these people, they appear gay, and they're not. They're actually female to males. Females trying to be males, and it just doesn't work out too good. But yeah, so you can see the resemblance. She is related to Rothschilds. People know that. And see, and there's a Rothschild again. And here's Diana then again. And so you can see the resemblance in those two. Okay? And here is Diana and the boys. Okay, now I got up here, Diana, Will, and Harry are all from the same batch of fertilized eggs. They're all brother and two sisters. These two little guys here are females, actually, and as they've grown up, we can see that they are in other pictures and stuff. Excuse the puppy in the background. He's fussing with the ferrets. It gets too loud and stuff. I'll have to go pick him up, but that's what's going on. Here, the flat back of Diana here, showing that it's a male. Okay, now I'm going to move this over here. What does it say over here? It says, Prince Charles is a born female to male, and his eggs were harvested and fertilized, then frozen, and the same batch made Diana, Will, and Harry. Yeah. So Prince Charles might be the mother to these three. Yeah. Well, here I said Charles is the mother to all three. I was right on with myself. I'm trying to remember stuff from my head, and then I read it that I have it written down so I don't forget it. See, they all look like him, and they look like Diana too. And yeah, Prince Charles could have carried them too, because they dip in and out of publicity, out of the public eye. Not publicity, out of the public eye. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and right here, look at this picture of Diana right here. Really closely. Look at that face. Doesn't that look like somebody else that you know? Yeah, well, to me it did too, okay? But right here, if you look here, you can tell Diana's a male because, again, of the crotch thing, and she's got a long torso, tells you that this is a male. But Diana, or David, like President Reagan called him, looks an awful lot like Ringo Starr here. Looks identical to Ringo. If you slapped a wig on Ringo, he said he would look just like that when he was young. Yeah. Well, Ringo Starr's a female. I can bet you that they were born from the same batch of eggs. And it's like, and who's the mommy? And I believe that Charles is. Now, Charles is probably not the mother to Ringo. It's the father, that the Rothschilds. She's a Rothschild, so Ringo probably is too. Hence why the Beatles made a lot of money, didn't they? This is how castrated male David here, child William, looks like him. Yeah. This one cannot reproduce. And if they all came from the same batch of eggs, David, William, and Harry, they will all resemble each other. Yeah, well, here I believe that Enlil the Satan was a sperm donor. I think now it's the Rothschilds. Yeah. Although, who runs the world? Satan. Yeah. Enlil does. All are ARTs, are Anunnaki royal transgenders, and I think the Rothschilds and all of them are Anunnaki royal transgenders. Arts, yeah, is what I call them. Yeah, I believe that they all are. And here is Ellen DeGeneres that looks like a young Diana. Okay, there you go. Eli, instead of Ellen, Eli. And David, from the same batch of eggs, probably Rothschild. How do you explain somebody that isn't having any talents, isn't very funny, that has been in the spotlight and got 2 shows and all this kind of stuff that Ellen DeGeneres got? Other than it's a Rothschild. It's a Rothschild or one of the others, but because we know Diana is, this one's probably the Rothschild sperm created this one too. Now this Huckabee person right here that works for, I thought that this works, yeah, it says White House President Secretary, okay. This one is. And this is a Huckabee right here. Looks like an Osmond. Okay, one of the Osmond brothers, Marie, Olive. It just looks like an Osmond. Okay. Yeah, well, there you go. I don't have to say too much about that and stuff. You know that all these famous people are related. And the ones on the side that aren't. So this one is Kate Middleton here. And Kate Middleton here looks like the actress Jennifer Connelly. And I'm not joking about it. Looks just like Jennifer, right? Well, Jennifer's probably a male. And the guy that she's married to, and I'm trying to think of his name, I can't remember, a British actor, very nice looking guy, he's probably a female, so quit lusting after him. And here, now we're going into some good stuff. This male looking guy here, this is Cindy Crawford, okay? And you can see that this is where the top of the crotch comes to. You don't go underneath it. You go right on the top where the mound is. And it would be about right across here. And you see how much smaller this is than this. This is a long male torso. Doesn't matter, even a dwarf would have a longer torso than the bottom. It doesn't matter that this one's 6 foot something. This leg here looks like the leg of my father. My father had muscular legs just exactly like this. Now, well, you can tell by this face here. Let me see if I can blow this up, and I'm going to bring this face down here. Can you see it a little bit better? There. And there's a famous mole right here. And how much, yeah, this is a fella. No doubt, just looks like a coarse, heavy coarse hair. Long neck. Yeah. Silicone blisters is what I call these. If you stabbed them, silicone would just shoot out of them like a blister, clear. And here he is, and see how wrinkly his, well, you can't see how wrinkly his neck is. Can I pull this up? And wait a minute, let's see. Okay, I made it smaller. There we go. You know, if I make these pictures smaller like this, if I get smart and do this, I don't have to move them around so much. I just forget. Okay, let me pull this down just a little bit. There we go. Now she's in there, or he is. Yeah, and you can see with this right here, and I want to put this to this next one because this one's been cloned. Okay, now I'll show you what a clone looks like. You see how much, this was a newish magazine where it all came out and stuff. And you can see on this one here, the cheekbone is a lot higher up than what it is on here. And here's a little shadow of something that looks like a mole, but it's not heavy like with this. I mean, this should be a lot. That's what I'm saying. They left the mole off of this thing. Yeah, it looks more feminine, a lot younger. This looks heavier. Yeah, I don't think it's touched up. I think that they cloned this person because it had a pretty face, but it still looks like a guy. Looks like a pretty guy. Yeah. And what I wrote up here, let's see, can I get all this in? Yeah, every Playboy model is a tranny. And got all the males full. The better pics of this one. And where's a mole, Cindy? Like I said, is you can't. There's a little shadow, but it's not. It's like I think they left it off of this when they cloned it. That did not come up. Coarse smell hair. This looks like it's all coarse hair. To me, it does. Very deep set eyes. Yeah, like a bowling ball. Large mouth. The male, this dental doesn't look very big in this, but there's some where you can see it better. Straight shoulder. But one of the major things is that it was in Playboy. In Playboy, they're all trannies. Yeah. They start looking so much like a man, they get replaced with a younger version of themselves. Now, some do, and a lot of them don't. It takes a lot to clone somebody. They could be from the same batch of eggs. Yeah, could be. But up here, what I think they do when they do a cloning process, they will put the person to sleep. They put the old body to sleep. Hang on for a second. All right, and now, when they do the cloning process, they will put the body to sleep, like they do a dog when they put him to sleep permanently. Then they upload the spirit consciousness into the new clone body. And the cloning process, they just use cells, just like they do when they do hearts. They grow hearts and organs and lungs and all this kind of things in the labs. This is basically how that they do that. They'll kill off the body and upload the spirit consciousness into the new body. And I wonder why Dolly Parton hasn't done it. But after the judgment, after Lord Enki comes and all of that, and I believe that's going to be in about 35 years. So all this nonsense will be over. I got to make sure. Now, see, I don't have this over here. I got to move it over here. Okay. There. Well, what I'm saying, after the judgment, if you're one of the chosen ones, on however Lord Enki does it, I am not sure how he chooses it. I think that your spirit will get an avatar body of your choice, and your spirit consciousness will be uploaded into that. And with the artificial holographic simulator, you will have whatever environment that you want. You will be able to control all that, and you can have a very nice life, actually. You will not return into a baby. You will live forever into that avatar body. That's what they do. Okay, that is what the gods do. And the term gods is just the ones that ruled over the humans. Now this little guy right here is supposed to be Cindy Crawford's son, okay? Notice how much he looks like George Harrison. And they, I think, tattooed this little mole on him right here. Yeah, they did. They did that. Up here you can't read what I have here. It just says here. He doesn't look like Cindy so much. Oh, what I did here is if you cover up this mole, if you cover up that mole, he looks more like George. Okay? The thing is, I'm wrestling with a puppy, and that's what I'm having problems with, people. Okay. Now, Cindy can't have babies, so I believe that they all came from the same batch of eggs. George Harrison probably coughed them up, because George Harrison, I believe he carried Danny, his son, who happens to be a female too. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Well, I have large ears like this one does, so that doesn't mean anything at all and stuff. But what I was saying is like this right here is really awfully round. It's not very square at all. They can put square bits in a jaw. Easily done. This looks like a male trachea. I don't know. A lot of times that comes from the overlay of, like this is a female. They put the male overlay on it, the chromosome, and because the trachea is a cartilage, it isn't a bone, it can grow from testosterone. And that overlay has enough testosterone in it, to give them some male looks. Very shallow, very close eyes, very tiny mouth, very tiny dental. Right here too, the shoulders come to about right here. Don't let this big coat fool you. And they're also very sloping shoulders here. His shoulders are not straight. They're like that. This is a female, just like George. I say about, Presley. His name is Presley. Oh, well, how about that? Oh, and here's lovely Meryl Streep. Okay, the one I said that the kids, they're all brothers. But here you can tell that this is a male because the upper torso is longer than the bottom. Yeah, she always reminded me of Glenn Close, actually. They're probably brothers. Okay, and here, see this one over here? This black and white picture here. This is Marilyn Monroe, okay? What somebody had done was they removed the wig and the makeup off of it. And they don't have Paint Shop Pro, evidently, because I can't do anything worth crap on Paint Shop Pro. They use Photoshop, which is a much better program. And they removed that and stuff, and I said, this looks like Wentworth Miller. Well, I found a picture of Wentworth Miller, and you can see how they look exactly alike. And I think that is it for today. I thought he was a male a long time ago, but no, he's a little female too. They're all trans. All right, that's it for today.